Dr. Sarah Burrows is here with me. She's going to co-moderate. We decided that it probably wasn't right for me to ask alderman questions, for her to ask school board, so I called her and said, I'll do yours if you do mine. And she very graciously.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
happy to be here.
Thank you. So the rules for tonight. This is a moderated QA, so no questions from the audience. The questions have been pre-written. The candidates will get 3 minutes to do an introductory statement, followed by 3 questions that will rotate, who starts first for each question. All candidates get the same question. This is not a debate forum, it's just a Q&A. And then once the questions are finished, they'll have 2 minutes each to respond to each question, and a final closing statement for 2 minutes as well. We're going to start with our ISD candidates, but before we begin that, I wanted to introduce Brandon Novosad, which is running unopposed for position 5, trustee. So Brandon, would you like to take some time and introduce yourself?
Of course. My name is Brandon Novosad. I have been in Anderson and Grimes County since 2017. I have 4 children in the school. Currently own my own business. I own a concrete foundation company. Been doing that since 2011, 2012. I guess a big part of me is I also serve as the youth pastor at Anderson Baptist Church. I oftentimes get asked, do I hunt, do I fish, what are my hobbies? I enjoy raising my kids, and I enjoy serving my church. I know it sounds really corny, but that's my passion. That's what I like doing. And obviously I love just serving my community. I grew up in a community a lot like Anderson, down in South Texas. You might have heard of it. It's called Odom, Texas. It's right outside of Corpus Christi. And they're the Odom Owls, like our owls here. But the semblances are so real between the 2 towns as far as the size, how community-based they are, how well in touch the teachers are, and the board, and the admin. It's just, it's such a great community. And I was so blessed growing up to be a part of it, I didn't realize it until I left. So finding a place like that to bring my family to and get to plug my family into has just been an honor. I hit the jackpot moving here, And so we left the Woodlands in 2013 and moved to Dobbin. And I thought that was small, and I didn't realize how big Montgomery ISD was. So we quickly got out of there and came here. So just very community-based. I always wanted to do as much as I can for the school. So this opportunity came up and I signed up. I'm very much looking forward to it. There's a lot of growth in our area and in our school. I feel like I can definitely help the board and help the school in that growth. I think the biggest part of growth is you can't turn it away. You can't reject it. It's going to happen. But if it's going to happen, I think you stick your grounds on your ideals and the things of the community and what made it so special. And I understand that you have to change with growth, but you can keep those ideals. And so that's my plan. I want to keep this place as special as possible for as long as possible. I'm probably timed up, but I will say I know each one of these candidates on a personal basis, and I think the school board's going to be very well off with whoever wins, but I'm excited to serve with each one of them or any one of them. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Thanks, Brandon. I just want to say with Brandon as well, so he's, tonight is a Wednesday night, and there's church programs at Anderson Baptist that he normally runs, but he took time tonight to come here for this, so we appreciate it. Thank you, Brandon. So with that, let's jump into the forum. As we mentioned, the first thing we're going to start with is introductions. So instead of me introducing you, please take 3 minutes to introduce yourself, your background, why you're running, why people should vote for you, any of that, all of the above, whatever you feel like. So we'll start here.
Good evening. I am Hannah Hart, and I have been in Anderson for almost 4 years. I come by way of College Station and received my PhD in Training and Development from Texas A&M University in 2012. I am blessed to be an older parent of very young children, both of which have special needs, and my husband and I decided to move to Anderson because his company that he runs is in Waller, Texas, and my company that I run in College Station is in College Station, Texas. And so this was a perfect blend between the two places. When we came here, we really didn't know what to expect because we both came from semi-small towns in our early childhood. And for us, Anderson just welcomed us with open arms. And we joined the Anderson Baptist Church and really just kind of took a little bit of time to meet a lot of the individuals that were here. I got very involved with the PTO in the elementary school in 2022 and 2023, and then I was voted president for the past year of 2023 and 2024. And it really opened my eyes to see how quickly that Anderson ISD is going to be growing. Coming from bigger cities in my pre-Anderson areas, we could really see that the growth was going to happen and that it needed to happen correctly and really proactively. And so my husband Thomas encouraged me to run for school board, and so we found that there was going to be an open seat, and so I put my application in, and I'm very excited. So if you guys have any questions, you can come and see me afterwards, but other than that, that's my history.
Thank you. Next, Keith Zimmerman.
Again, my name is Keith Zimmerman. Again, I'm kind of an import. I've been here now going on a little over 5 years, I believe. My wife, I have a wife that'll be Andrea, and I'll be married to her for about 20 years next Wednesday. She put up with me that long. I have 3 children. One's a senior, one's in 8th grade, and one's in 5th grade. And so, profession, I'm a professional land surveyor. I've been surveying for over 20 years. I graduated from Mississippi State University in agriculture engineering and business with a minor in human resource management. And so with that, I as well, when I moved from Mississippi here, I moved from a small, very rural community a lot like Anderson. Again, I think we all kind of have that draw to us to where we want to live in a place to where our kids can grow up and still have that small town feel, but yet have the amenities. And when I started looking for schools, the first thing I looked at is the grades and where they stand and where we rate in the area of, because I didn't want to live in College Station when I moved here. And so I grew up in the country. I want my kids to be in the country. And so Anderson was a place that we started looking around and just hit the nail on the head. And we were really, love this area, love the people, and have become involved greatly in the community. I served as president of the Grimes County Little League, been involved with that for about 4 years. We also, I'm actually a working Baptist minister. I did youth ministry for over 20 years before I moved here. Been involved in youth and youth functions for a while. I did have the opportunity to serve as a vacancy on the board about 2 years ago now, and actually enjoyed the opportunity to serve on the board and see the ins and outs of the school. And that's why I really want to jump out and try to run again to get my feet back into the school system and be able to help our community grow. And again, kind of see that we have our teachers, kids, and everybody who are involved, and even our community, have the things that they need and help support them.
Thank you. Carrie?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. I kind of have a prepared statement just because I didn't want to forget anything, because I wanted to make sure I had all my bases covered. Most of you may know me by some of my other titles. I'm known as Evan's mom, William's mom, Claire's mom, and I'm also known as Brandon's wife. I currently work as an administrative assistant for a nonprofit organization, and I also run my own account wanted to play soccer, you needed to start in kindergarten just to make a JV team, and why you wouldn't be able to play any other sports. While we have opportunities that other big cities had, I often felt lost. I was really just one warm body among thousands that went to the school. The teachers that I had knew who I was, but the counselors, 2 principals, the vice principal, and the other adults in the school did not. I knew way back then that I wanted to live in a small town. I've always had a passion for kids. I babysat all through high school and college. I was a camp counselor at a sleepaway camp in the Pocono Mountains, and I coached a Little League cheerleading organization in College Station. My family and I started our family quickly after we married and settled down in College Station. My 3 oldest kids began school in kindergarten in College Station. I was a classroom volunteer. I was a board chair for the PTO. And as we outgrew our home and our family was getting older, it was time for a change. And we always knew we'd end up in Anderson, where Brandon grew up. In 2015, we built a house and moved into Anderson. And our family is a little bit different because we make up a little bit of old Anderson and a little bit of new Anderson. Since we've moved here, my husband has been involved in many sports activities. Any activity that you can sign our kids up for, my husband is involved. I have also been quietly making sure that the kids are doing well academically and socially behind the scenes. I've always been very comfortable in the background, keeping the non-athletic aspects of our family in check. But now that our kids are older, we have kids in 11th, 9th, and 7th grades. I've had an opportunity to be involved in other ways within the district. I subbed in Anderson for 4 years, and one of that was at both campuses. And I absolutely loved every second of it. Not only did I get to see my kids during the day, but I also got to see who they were hanging out with, and I also got to meet the teachers and administration.
15 seconds, Gary.
I'm sorry, oh, sorry. I didn't know it was that quick. Okay, anyways, I've gotten to meet the teachers. I've been able to serve on committees for new hires and teacher awards, and each time I learned something new about the district. I've been reading the minutes and the agendas of the board meetings online for the last 2 years, so I can be more informed of what's going on. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
No, it's wonderful.
Waiting for that to go off. Well, thank you, thank you. Well, let's move into our first question. So, and guys, we want to give you all respect. Do you mind if I use first names? I'm Mark. So Keith, first question goes to you tonight. What are the district's greatest capital/facility needs right now? And how do you think those needs should be addressed?
To me, I think from being in the system and watching, the biggest capital need is classroom space. We got kids and teachers and people crammed in, I call it the closet spaces. I mean, those are things that we need to address and to get handled before we can do anything else. Now, as far as the ability to get that finished and to get that money, I mean, we're gonna have to find ways, and again, the word a lot of people don't like to hear is bond. I mean, it's something we're gonna have to do to get that money, to get where we need to get those classrooms built and things to where our teachers and students have the room and space that they need. That's one reason, like a lot of us do, I think us that want to serve on the board, is the fact that we came here, we want a small school, we want that teacher-student ratio to stay kind of the way it is, and if we don't have the space for it, it's going to be hard to do that. So,
Thank you. Carrie, same question. I could repeat it if you ever need it.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, what are the district's greatest capital or facility needs right now, and how do you think those needs should be addressed?
Obviously, we've outgrown our schools. We need better facilities and more space in order for the kids to be able to learn efficiently. Another thing that I think that we need to make sure that we address is some of the safety issues that had come up after Uvalde, that we make sure that all of those things are in line before we make any new changes. But as we all know, the school district is growing. We're getting more and more students and more families every day, and we're just not getting the businesses that we need in order to alleviate the bond money that has to come from our people, the people that live here. So I think definitely we need to make sure that the children's safety is first, and then space is obviously second.
Thank you. Hannah, same question.
My background is in looking at the broader picture of things, and being in the elementary school a lot more often. I cannot speak to the high school. I know that we have run out of room, and so what have we done to really assess and understand what it is that our needs are going to be, not just for the next 5 years, but for the next 15, 20, 25 years? And how are we going to address that in the rising cost of the land, the building, and everything? So our capital needs definitely need to increase, but we need to also look at what we're spending those on currently. Sitting in the budget meetings, the last one several months ago, and this last one just a week ago, we hear what we're being given by our state, by the national government, and how we're spending that in regards to our children, and what we need with regard to the rising cost of students that do not have the financial means to even afford lunches, and or the special needs children that need additional resources. We are severely lacking in our career and technical programs, and so all of these things need to be addressed, but they need to be addressed very smartly.
Thank you. So we'll go to question 2 now. Carrie, we'll start with you. What do you think the district should prioritize for future pathways and opportunities related to college, career, and military readiness?
I love this question because I have 2 children that have graduated from Anderson. My first son graduated in 2021 or 2021, and then my other son graduated last year, 3rd in his class in 2023. This year, I've noticed a lot of change that has happened within the education. Dr. Borowitz has done a really good job bringing a new program for our kids, but at this point, when my son graduated and went to Texas A&M for school this year, he struggled in college math. I asked all of his friends that were in A&M as well that had gone to Anderson, and they all have struggled in college math. In fact, some of them that were in the top 10% of the class didn't even pass the college placement exam for math. So it's really, really important that we bridge this gap and make sure that our kids are college ready. Like, while we may have the academics and on paper it looks great, our kids are not college ready. So Dr. Borowitz has put in a new program. It's called On-Ramps, and our kids are going to have the opportunity to take college classes starting their sophomore year, and they're going to be taught with teachers from the university as well as our high school. So it's a really exciting program, and I'm hoping that it helps bridge that gap.
Thank you. Hannah, same question. What do you think the district should prioritize for future pathways and opportunities related to college, career, and military readiness?
So in 2020, I opened a vocational school so that we had individuals that did not want to go to college have a career with just a high school education. And I feel like our future is in desperate need of just that. And we need welders, we need plumbers, we need those that can go out and not just go to college and end up in a collegiate route. A lot of what we really need to focus on is where our students are lacking, and as we've heard, they are not ready. And a lot of our other campuses that are within the same driving distance, they're doing college prep classes where they're actually taking college courses and earning credit. So they're going into Blinn or to A&M already having 20, 50, 60 hours of college credit. And I think that that's something that's very important should they choose to do that route. As far as military readiness, I'm not sure on our ROTC program. I could definitely look into that more, but again, it's definitely a need that our country needs.
Thank you. Keith, same question. Do you need me to repeat it?
No, I'm good. I think, again, as you ask each other the same question, I think we're all on the same page. Today, we are in desperate need of vocational classes and things for VOTEC. I think you use the word VOTEC, but back in the day, that's what it was. And there's so many people in this generation. The academic side is a must, no doubt. But there are so many young people today, and for me and the profession I work in, it's so hard, you see, to get young people to come out who may not be want to go to college, but just having the skills to be able to work alongside and be out in the public, working in those sectors and have those skills, they're not there. I think that's an area where we really need to strive and bring it back into our school system, is that, because I think I was talking to someone earlier today about the fact that there needs to be a balance. Those people and the kids are gonna be leaders and that's gonna be successful as adults. They need the academic side, but they also need to have some, the technical side, the life skills and things to be able to support themselves, support the people that they're gonna come in contact with, their families and things of that nature. Because if someone, this is my big thing, is if someone has some, a well-rounded, and you'll see this, the fact that if one person focuses strictly on academics and they don't have the other skills of being involved in things like FFA and 4-H and different things like that, their life skill and leadership is not usually there. And they don't have a hard time dealing with the circumstances they come across daily. And I think having a stronger VOTEC type program would help us greatly on that and help our kids when they get out. Now, I do know that I agree that one of the things that we really do have to look at is from our academic side is to be able to strengthen our programs. Now, my son's going to Texas A&M starting in the fall. He did take dual credit to get those courses, but, you know, is he prepared? We'll see.
Great. Well, thank you. So let's see, 2 out of 3 questions. We're 2/3 the way. Yeah, I went to school. So, third question. Hannah, we'll come back to you. The basic student allotment of per pupil funding has not been raised by the state since 2019. With inflation driving up costs, how do you think the district should prioritize funding? That's a big.
That's kind of a mouthful of a question. I do not have an answer to this question because we have so many different needs, and I think that what we've begun to do and bring in the community and bring in our parents and have those conversations about what's important for them and where the curriculum needs to go has been a huge game changer. And we've got another one of those coming here up in a few weeks. I think really involving more of our community and our parents and those, not just in the high school and junior high, but even elementary, is going to be a huge plus for our future in how they would like to see those funds being spent. And obviously, everything has gone up, 80% since 2019. So we are at a deficit unless we can really spend wisely and really invest those dollars in what we need, which may be a new school bus, it may be a new workout facility or career technical area, but I think getting the vote and the buy-in from the entire community is what is really necessary.
Thank you. Keith, same question. The basic student allotment of per pupil funding has not been raised by the state since 2019. With inflation driving up costs, how do you think the district should prioritize funding?
Again, it comes back to this is, I mean, for me, from my standpoint, this is where we rely on our school administration that we've hired, our teachers, the people that are day in and day out with our students, and they know the needs at the school, and that's why you have to, I mean, it's just, you know, the old saying, rob Peter to pay Paul. We hate to have to do that, but sometimes the people who are doing the hands-on every day, they're the ones that can help us adjust to make those changes to help get through that until hopefully we can get through the process or get those funds raised to help. Because I think that's the key to it. Is having that one-on-one with administration, our school administration, and the teachers and those who say, hey, these are our struggles, these are our needs, and then that way you can take those and prioritize what's important for them to take that funds we do have to manage that. So.
Karen, same question.
I think that we have a really good resource in Blake Missouri. He's the one who comes up with our budget every year. He's the one who also tells the teachers and the administration no when they can't have something, and apparently he's got a nickname called Blake No. So, anyways, but he does a really, really great job of prioritizing things and making sure that the things that are absolutely needed for the district are met.
completes our 3 questions. Next, I'd like to provide an opportunity for you guys to just give a closing statement, a couple minutes, whatever you'd like to say. Keith, we'll start with you.
Again, thank y'all for the opportunity to come, and I appreciate the opportunity to sit beside these 2 ladies. They're awesome, and just be able to run against them. I know that whoever God bless to be elected is going to do a great job no matter what. The thing is most important, and the reason I get involved, I say this because I did come from a small community that I found out that just because my parents were busy in life and just trying to keep food on the table and bills paid, they didn't get involved in the community a lot. And I see that from the standpoint of I want to be involved to help our kids become better and become the students and adults that we're wanting to. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Ignore that.
So I want to be able to have that opportunity to serve our community. That's why I'm involved in so many things. My wife gets on to me, says that sometimes I get too busy involved in things, but I'm probably like her husband. It's because I want to invest in our community and our kids, and that's what I want to do. And that's why I'm wanting. I would love to want to be elected to serve our community and our school. Like I said, it's been a great thing. I'll tell you this, and I'll end on this. After about 1.5 years of being in school here, I asked my kids, would you want to go back to Mississippi? Are you tired? Do you not like the school? And they said, if you move back, you go by yourself. We're staying here. And so that tells me the amount, how much this school and this community has meant to them. So.
Great, thank you. Carrie?
Wow, how do you follow that answer? It was really great. I just want to say that I'm really thankful for the opportunity to be here. I know a lot of you guys in the audience, and some of you guys I don't know very well, but I'm looking forward to getting to know you. I'm really, really thankful to be a part of this community. I'm thankful that my kids have been able to be a part of this community. Our whole family just seems like I guess if we had a theme, it would be service. My husband serves the community in different ways. My kids have come back from graduation and helped with, flag football. They coached a team this year. Even my junior student did. So we really are a service-oriented family, and I just be really, really excited to get to have a say and get to know exactly what's going on with our district and help my kids and other kids around us succeed for the future. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
So in closing, the 2024 issues that a lot of other schools are facing here in the state of Texas, I didn't really think were going to be affecting Anderson, not yet anyways. But there are several things that we didn't address tonight that will be coming down very soon. Things like policy changes with regard to AI usage in our classrooms and what we're putting our curriculum based on. What is it going to be really involving and engaging, and what are those values driven from? Another thing is rethinking the measure of our student success, and really, what are those characteristics? And I know that the board has done a fantastic job in these past several decades of creating the ASCISD that we currently have. And it is a wonderful place, and I'm so thankful that I'm here with my children. And I want to keep it that way and help it to grow and grow to the best of its ability for our future, for not just my children, but potentially their children and so forth. And so I appreciate you guys being here and listening to us. And again, very thankful to be running against the three of us really do, I think, complement each other and probably couldn't go wrong with any one of us. So whoever God decides is going to be a great fit for our school district. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I just want to remind everybody that everybody that's speaking here tonight, all the candidates, they're all volunteers. They're all doing this out of their own time. They're not paid for this. So, I can relate, and I greatly appreciate their time coming out here tonight. Didn't have to. This was kind of an unscheduled, last-minute forum that we put together. But we appreciate your guys' time, your willingness to volunteer your time to better our community. And just thank you. So please, can you give a round of applause? We're going to take a few minutes.
I just want to say something. My kids are out of school now, but I've got grandkids coming up, and So I'm just here listening to everything, and through the years, I've been gotten calls from different people moving into our area and asking about the schools. And even to this day, I always say, one good thing about our school is every kid still has a name, they're not just a number. And that's what I like about our schools.
Thanks, Gail. At this point, we're gonna take about a 5 to 10 minute intermission. Feel free to get something to drink if you want. We're gonna switch out, move out people, and we'll start up again here shortly.